Hi, and welcome to the video. Now, it wasn't very long ago that AI generated images were obvious. Somebody had 6 fingers or 3 eyes, and they just looked computer generated. And we didn't really have to worry too much about getting them mistaken for the real thing. But in the last year, they've come on enormously. So in this video, I'm going to look at 10 ways you can make your images better. But first of all, I want to start off with a warning. We have to treat these as fakes, not facts. GenAI images are obviously not historical photographs. They're fabrications based on your prompt and descriptions. And they can inspire, they can illustrate stories, and they can be very useful in their own right, but it cannot be mistaken for authentic records. So always label or disclose when using them in educational settings, especially in genealogy or historical context. As we can see from this image here, it looks very, very realistic. So in this video, I'm going to look at 10 different ways or 10 techniques that you can use to create your images and align them with your story. And at the end, I'll look at some tricks you can use to make it simple. Now, first of all, we need to start off with what's the type of image we want. And this is almost unending. I'll give some examples as we go through. So what's the image? Is it photorealistic? Is it an oil painting? Is it a cartoon? So we can use that as a starting point. This tells the model how to draw. And then what's the subject? Who or what is the image about? Is it a group? Is it countryside? Is it a family? So we can start there with what's the subject, and we need to be specific. You know, what's the gender, what's the age, how do we want them dressed, what kind of actions we need within the image itself. And if you notice on this presentation, if you like, each of these images are labeled that are being created with ChatGPT as we go through. Then we have the setting. Where does it take place? Is it in a cottage? Is it indoors or outdoors? What's the time of day? So here we have evening meal in a warm rustic kitchen inside a 19th century stone cottage. And again, you can give the ambience based on the setting you take place. And then number 4, when is the scene set? What year is it? What decade? Is it historical? Is it the 1700s? Or is it the Battle of Hastings? Or do we need to have something that looks at the American Civil War? So combine this with a period description. So for instance, on a snowy December evening in 1890 outside a stone cottage in Yorkshire, this gives you a real theme of your image. And you can see here, I've reproduced this, and again, it looks like a snowy December evening in 1890 outside a stone cottage in Yorkshire. So what I don't want you to do is just say, create me an image of. You have to take some time to create the right image for you. Then we move on to number 5. What's the mood? What's the atmosphere? Is it happy? Is it somber? Is it cold? Is it foggy? Now this again adds layers of complexity to your image. And what we're trying to do here is move away from the standard GenAI generated some picture to something that is more appropriate to what you want. So let's add a layer of atmosphere or mood to the image that we're looking at. And then going on to number 6. This is very important. What kind of size image are we looking for? Is it square? Is it widescreen? Is it portrait like I use on the phone? Or is it some kind of custom size? So again, within your description, it's useful for you to say, what kind of layout are we dealing with here? And you can always change your mind. If you want it square and then decide widescreen, you can ask for it to be reproduced in a different way. And most models do square unless you tell otherwise. And now we're looking at some kind of framing. Is this a close-up? Is it wide angled? Are we looking at a scenic view? Are we looking at people in the distance? Is it foreground, middle ground, background? So we can have different layers. We can have something in the foreground, something in the background, or we can have it looking out of a window, we can have it looking from a roof or from a mountaintop. So again, we're adding composition and perspective to the image that we're going to deal with. Now number 8, what are the details? Now the small details really add flavor to your picture. Now, so you can add shoes at the doorway, or a letter on the table, or clogs by the door, or children behind the stone wall. So again, don't be lazy with GenAI images. Take some time to describe what you want. Add some detail to it, and it will really become your image over time. then what are you using it for? Now, ChatGPT is, and all the Gen AIs are smart enough to know what if you tell them you're using it for a presentation or for a social media post or for research, they'll orientate this to exactly the way you intend to use it. And that's number 9. So we've got 9 different things. Now, number 10 and most important is we need to put an attribution or an AI disclosure on every image we use. And whether that's AI generated ChatGPT or we put a citation type, which I prefer if I'm using it in my genealogy, an AI generated image of a winter Yorkshire created by using ChatGPT, we can put the version there, and we can do it when we made the image. And that's like a small citation. Now, we need to remember that GenAI is not a source, but these images are sourced through GenAI. So it's important to put some kind of citation if you're using this in storytelling or genealogy. Now let's look at what an example would be. And this is a very basic example. Create a square photorealistic image of a young woman in 1890 standing outside a stone cottage in rural Yorkshire at sunset. Now here's some details. She wears a wool shawl, an apron. She's holding a basket of potatoes. And here's the mood. The mood is quiet and reflective. Use a side profile with soft golden lighting, rural details like chickens in the background, and then we add a citation in there. And I've told it what I intended it for, and you can see the citation. And let's see how that breaks down. And I'll put this in the description so you can use this example and you can just add in what you need to use. So image type photorealistic, subject a young woman, setting a location outside of Stone Cottage in rural Yorkshire, and so on, a period, a date, an atmosphere, mood, a layout, aspect ratio, composition. So it's very simple. And if you use this technique, these 10 steps, you really get some detailed images that are not just auto-generated from GenAI, if you like. So that's the 10 steps. Now what I want to do is also, there's some other techniques, and I don't want to turn this into a 6-hour video, and I could do, but I want to examine a couple of really useful techniques that you can use here. So one of the things is you can upload a photograph, modern, historical, and then ask ChatGPT to describe it in detail, and then change some of the details to create a new prompt. So for instance, I've uploaded this image of Chicago, and this is a modern street scene in Chicago, and I can basically say change this same scene to 1850 with horses and gas lamps, and this is what I get. So again, rather than spend a lot of time thinking of what you need to produce, you can use an image that's very close to what you want, ask ChatGPT to describe it, and then make the appropriate changes to the prompt, as we can see here. And also we can ask ChatGPT to just use it as an inspiration. So going back to this image here of Chicago, I can say use this image as an inspiration. Please recreate this as a futuristic image set in the year 2125. And this is what we have. Now, I had a discussion with ChatGPT about whether the cars would look this way in 100 years in the future, but I couldn't get ChatGPT to come up with anything different. So you can actually play with these images. Now another technique is, instead of uploading an image, I can upload a document or an article or something like that and ask ChatGPT to use that as a basis for creating an image. So in this case, I'm going to upload a small newspaper clipping, but it could easily be a profile, it could be an article, it could be a narrative. And I can upload this and say, based on this news clipping, suggest 3 different historical scene ideas I could turn into images. Now if you see, I've not asked it to create an image directly, I've asked it to suggest some images so I could start having a conversation with ChatGPT about it. So let me flick over really quickly to ChatGPT and see what that looks like. So here's the document. It's from 1900. It tells me some information about it, very small. And what I've asked for is the idea here. So this is a news clipping for John Cash. Please suggest 3 different images. And it comes up with a stormy sea, a pot of Greenock, and a memorial or lost at sea tribute. And now I can manipulate, I could ask for 3 more until I get the kind of image I would like. And then I can actually manipulate it a little bit more. I could talk about the atmosphere, I could talk about some of the details, but let's just go and use this very quickly. So I said, please create number 1. And there's the image it created. Well, let's look at this a little bit detail of a steamship, obviously having some problems here. Now, one of the things we can do within ChatGPT is we can actually change the image as well. So now I've got an image, I can change it. Now that takes a little bit of time now with the new model, so I won't spend a lot of time here, but in fact, I asked it to make it sunny and cloudy, and we can see we can change that. So that's one of the new models within ChatGPT that I can easily now change the images that it's presenting to me. And if we go back to the top here, there is now a library of my images. Which is a fairly new thing with ChatGPT, as we can see all the images I've created. You'll recognize some from this presentation. So now I have my own library and I can go back to the images. A few weeks ago, this is almost very brand new. A few weeks ago, you have to go and search for your conversations to find that. So now ChatGPT is really moving forward on the images available to us and making it easy to go back and find the ones we need to find. So that's moving and illustrating a document. So that's about it in terms of ChatGPT images. I really hope you've enjoyed this and taken something out of it. The more you describe your image, the richer the description, the more unique it will be to you. I can see from other people using ChatGPT, when they just ask for an image of, let's say, an immigration at Ellis Island, they'll all start to look the same. And that's because ChatGPT will create what I would call vanilla images. They'll look historical, they'll look photorealistic, but you'll think your image looks very similar to somebody else's. So using these 10 steps, you can very easily create very unique pictures for your own narrative. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Please give me 2 thumbs if you have, or at least 1 thumb up. It's really important to a small genealogy channel like mine. And please subscribe, because that's equally, if not more important. And let me know how you do with the images and if you've created anything unique. Thanks for watching.